This is the weekend edition of iFIBER One News, where we present some of the top stories from this week and your weekend weather forecast. I'm Bethany Jenks. Stay tuned for more on the weekend edition of iFIBER One News.
From the iFIBER One HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER One News, your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER One News, and it starts now.
One of our top stories this week is about Grant County volunteer firefighters helping to battle the Carlton Complex fire. Reporter Jeff Chu has their story.
It was like entering hell. I mean, the amount of fire that was on the hillside it looked like a volcano.
Grant County Fire District 13 volunteer firefighters Andy Rolfe and Casey Clarkson weren't exactly sure what to expect when they recently responded to the biggest wildfire in Washington state history. Rolfe, a veteran of the Ephrata Area Fire District, and Clarkson, only 7 months into her first year, joined a Grant County wildfire strike team that recently fought fires in Pateros and Brewster. Besides the District 13 duo, the strike force included firefighters from Moses Lake, Ephrata, Royal City, and Fire District 7 near Soap Lake. Dubbed the Carlton Complex wildfire in north central Washington, today it is mostly contained. The fire destroyed some 300 homes and heavily damaged the power grid in scenic Methow Valley. The strike force was assigned to protect homes from out-of-control fires. At nearly 400 square miles, the lightning-caused Carlton fires have eclipsed the 1902 Yacold burn, which killed 38 people and consumed about 373 square miles in southwest Washington. Rolfe, who fought large wildfires in the past, described the scene as the strike force entered the Pateros fire zone.
Very big flames. I mean, I haven't seen flames that big before. They was as tall as trees and sometimes taller than trees.
As a relatively new firefighter, Clarkson said she didn't know what to expect.
It was almost breathtaking, seeing the fire on both sides of the road, and it was trying to jump the highway and seeing it all the way up the hill. And when we rolled into town, we saw, into Pateros, we saw the church, and there was a bunch of firefighters around the church, but everywhere else there was just flames everywhere.
Rolfe said the Grant County Strike Force was waiting in Pateros to return when they were called to Brewster.
Some people had come to visit with us, and actually this lady had burst out in tears, just so thankful that we had helped save their house. And as we were talking to these people, all of a sudden the sirens in Brewster went off, and they were needing more help. And one house was, by the time we got to it, unfortunately it was fully involved, and we tried, but there was no way we could save that house, but the one next door we saved.
Rolfe likened the experience to entering a war zone.
You get into these places that look like Bosnia. I mean, I've been to Bosnia and the houses were flattened there, and it was like going through a battleground.
District 13 Fire Chief Shane Heston praised the volunteers for their self-sacrifice and dedication. Heston, a veteran volunteer himself, said the fire season is shaping up to be the worst ever.
This is a historic fire year for, I think, not just our county, but all of Washington State.
I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER One News.
The Carlton Complex fire is currently 71% contained, and crews are still working to keep the fire from spreading. Now we take a look at individuals wanted by the Grant County Sheriff's Office.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
We will be right back after a short break.